Welcome to your practice. This class is focused on inversions. So that's anything with our hips over our heart. So we'll work some fun ones with that, developing again that connection of our core to our feet. Since when we're upside down, our feet become our head. So we'll work some fun, kind of more energetic inversions. And then towards the end, we'll kind of do some more restorative inversions and do some good breath work and kind of calm us down from that. But inversions are a good energy for right now because again, we want to get into that energy of like laughter and fun and play for these next couple days. And so it's really good medicine, right? To get upside down, kind of shake ourselves up and give yourself permission to do a lot of pleasure seeking. So whatever kind of sounds fun and lighthearted and will bring a smile to your face. Those are the things that right now we want to douse ourselves with, right? To lighten up, to kind of shift our energy and to kind of brighten us up, right? To let us kind of open to more optimism and hope and more, again, that creative energy that draws in the good stuff too. So close your eyes and take a few grounding breaths to settle into your body. So meeting yourself on the mat. Letting all of yourself come and play today. So if that part of you, the playful part of you, is not an aspect of you that you've brought to the mat, then that's a new part that you can invite in today. And that's the aspect of exploration, of it not being so serious, of fun being the way, not perfection or anything that would kind of diminish the fun. So if you've never brought that to your yoga mat, today gets to be the silly, fun, playful, almost childlike aspect that we get to draw in. So maybe for the next couple of breaths, maybe bringing in however you've connected to that aspect in your life. So maybe it's like when you go to an amusement park and you go on a roller coaster, or maybe it's running in a field with kids. It's whatever you can remember that makes you kind of giddy. See if you can cultivate that energy for a couple breaths and bring it in with your inhale. With your exhale, send it through your body. And then on the next couple breaths, I'm going to move to the mat. You guys keep breathing, and we're going to start our work back today. So we're going to start with our legs long and our arms long and stretching our body. So maybe kind of some side stretching a bit as you kind of reach. So we'll start with a little side body stretch. So walk your legs over to the right and then cross your left leg over your right. So I'm in a left side lateral stretch. Left arm over your head and then lean to the right a bit. So kind of breathe into that whole left lateral side of your body. Trying to reach your ankles away from your wrist. Big breaths, just stretch it out. And then let go of your hands, walk your legs over to the left, and then cross your right leg over your left. And then with your left hand, grab your right wrist and breathe into your right lateral body. Couple more breaths. And then coming back to the center, you may hook your thumbs if you want, and then point your toes and get as long as you can. Let the rib cage drop a bit so that you're not lifting your spine, but more you're bringing your spine closer to the mat. And then let it go, shake it out. And then you can bring your hands by your hips a bit and point and flex your feet so that you kind of wiggle your body a bit to kind of loosen it up. We're going to start off with some core strengthening to connect, again, core all the way to your feet. So as we do this core work, I want you to imagine a line of energy that extends from your core all the way down into your feet, so that when we invert in our feet or our head, that we can still feel connected to our core. So take your hands and interlace them behind your head. So right kind of at that kind of hairline. Do a good firm clasp and point your elbows slightly up so that your head's in a hammock. So that your head can be heavy, but yet we can still kind of open the back of the neck a bit, but let the head stay heavy without activating the neck. So what we're going to do is as we tone the belly and pull the belly down, we're going to lift a leg and we're going to add an abdominal lift. So just a tiny lift. So we're going to exhale, lengthen through the tailbone, pull the belly back. You can point or flex, release down. So we're going to exhale, lift the leg. And again, really important that the foot is active. So whether that's a pointed toe or a flexed, as we lift, so the upper abdominals are curling, the pelvis and the upper rib cage are drawing towards one another. We're lifting and lowering the legs. So nice steady breathing, inhaling as you come down, exhaling as you lift to the scapula, kind of that base of the scapula. We're going to do about 4 more. If you need to go a little slower, so again, you can make that connection of your whole foot to your core. Do that, 2 more. And then relax it out. Shake it out. Bend your knees. You can release your arms and windshield wiper your legs side to side. So adding into that core work, we're going to allow ourselves to come into handstand on our backs. So how this will look is you'll either keep your feet on the floor, your head on the floor, and you're just going to reach through your heels, pull your rib cage down and reach through your arms. You can even flex through your wrists. Or if you'd like, you can hover the legs. You might hover the head or you might just hover the arms. But I want you to feel an entire connection from heel to your fingertips, okay? So either head down, legs down if this is bothersome to your low back, or you'll lift the legs. So again, I'm gonna have to tonify without letting the rib cage thrust up. Okay, so take a deep breath, set up your arms already, so you can get a stretch here, and as you're ready, exhale and lift if you're lifting. You can always just do one leg at a time too. So breathe and feel that connection all the way from your heels to your palms, and relax it out. Okay, adding on. Bend those knees. We're going to do a few core roll-ups. So if you want to put a block between your legs, you can. With this, we're going to let the pelvis articulate forward and back as we do this. So as we imprint the spine and the pelvis kind of rolls back a bit, so the low back feels like it presses into the mat, we're going to roll up. Then we're going to lift the heels and we're going to roll down. We'll just do that fluidly, so it can be fast or slow. You don't want to lift the heels. You don't have to. It's just going to give you more space and time to roll down. Breath in, breath out. Just do that a few more times. And again, it can be really slow. It doesn't have to be fast. I just want you to connect your core to your feet. And start to feel the pelvis move, right? Because in some of these inversions, the pelvis does move. We do actually feel a pelvic move, different than in handstand where we're trying to neutralize. Okay, so lower that down. So crow pose is a pose that is often an arm balance or kind of inversion. So we're going to do that on our backs just to kind of work some core work. So if you want to press your heels together and let the knees come wide, you're going to start to feel the inner thigh. So just let those knees come wide like you're doing a butterfly pose, and then just press your legs out. Bring the knees in, out, or towards you but wide, and then press them out and away. Okay, so just a few times like this, just to get kind of the legs warmed up. Feeling the inner thighs, so you keep the heels pressing together as you do this. Rib cage stays down, so I'm drawing the belly button back and slightly up towards my face. And now from here, we're going to take the hands behind our head and we're going to lift up. And I'm going to kind of lengthen through the tailbone. So it's not like a tuck tail. It's more of like as I bring ribs, hips together, I lift. And then I'm going to release it. If you want to stretch your legs out, you can. And then bring it up. And then release it out. So just trying to get that now lower core to function with this. Just a couple more. Then we're gonna hold it. So as you bring the heels together and you press, you're gonna allow your tailbone to lengthen, just like you were doing those bridge rolls. Take your arms forward and press your arms into your thighs. Without tensing up your neck, pull and descend the belly towards the pelvis and kind of lift your tailbone towards the sky. And relax. Feet down. You can open up the knees and relax for a moment. So just kind of getting some of these movements that we'll do in space so that you can feel how the core has a function. So we've kind of found a handstand. We've kind of found a crow pose in a sense. Let's add a little bit on to something that we might do to prep. So I want you to bring your right knee in towards your chest and then extend it down. Left knee in towards your chest, extend it down. So in and then extend. This is without the use of your hands. So hopefully this is okay for your low back. And now I want you to grab onto your knee. So lift your upper core and release it out. Grab in. And as you do this, try not to pull on the head. So if you need to keep that neck cradle, as you do this, please do that. And now bring it into hold. So if you'd like to, you can extend across your shin. So I'm bringing the upper kind of ribs away from the mat. I'm pulling down with the belly. Now activate your left foot or your straight leg and lift it off the mat. So kind of feel how the core, once again, connects to the legs. Now extend the arms over your head. And like you're in handstand. If you want to drop your head, you can. Stay for 5. Feel that core. 3, 2, and then drop the legs, straighten your bent leg, and give a little hamstring stretch. So we're gonna review that in another variation where this is a great way to kind of kick up into handstand is to first feel that. So even just doing it on your back gives you a nice kind of leg up with that. One more breath and then bring that knee in, just give it a little stretch. Release it out. Left side. So bring the left leg in. Again, kind of bringing it in and then taking with your hand, pull it a little closer, lift your head up. Now, if you can, we're going to lift the right leg up to hover. You could stay here or stay here. And if you can, extend your spine. Kind of keep that same engagement of your core, even though we're straightening back out for 3. For 2, release it out, straighten your left leg. Nice deep breaths. And then pull it back in, give a little stretch. And then both knees in, rock and roll side to side a bit. Okay. So we have definitely gotten our core warm. So you've kind of gotten a little bit of that kind of functionality of how it has to happen. And then when you're ready, go ahead and roll all the way up. And then we're gonna just cat-cow here in a seated position. So round through your spine, let the pelvis kind of turn under. And then come forward, let the shoulders go back, lift your chest. A couple more times. I want you to really move the scapula. So move the shoulders back and then round the shoulders forward. A couple more times. One more. Then you can kind of let your legs kind of shuffle over to the side, and we're going to come to all fours. So do a couple rounds of cat-cow. Once again, really articulating the shoulder blades here. So moving them on your back and then rounding them forward. 2 more. And now we're going to add a little bit of knee lift. So we're going to bring our knees to our nose. We're going to feel our core. And then you're going to press through your heel and lift your chest. Almost like you're doing cat-cow again, but now I want you to really lift through that heel. Bring it in, cat your back, and then opposite action. Without losing your core connection, draw your chest up. Do it a couple more. Now come to a long spine, so extend the left leg, tuck your right toes under, come to a 3-leg down dog. So just take a moment to feel a stretch, elongate your spine, and then bring your left knee in towards your nose, just like we did on our back. So can you bring that knee in as tightly as you can without rounding? Keep your spine long if you're in plank. Push the floor away, so find your core connection, one more breath. And then step your left leg forward and come into a high lunge. So for this one, we're gonna interlace the hands, but keep the heel of the hands open. So you open up the chest and go ahead and let those hands hover away from your sacrum. And just feel a little chest opening. If you can straighten the arms and keep this from locking the elbows or feeling too taut, just stay here and breathe, just opening up to the chest. Take another deep breath. Then as you're ready, lower down to a low lunge and then place your right palm on the floor. So it's okay if you want to keep the back knee down or if you want to lift it. Take that right or that left arm forward and do a big shoulder roll. So trying to open up through the shoulder blade. So for wheel pose, which was one of our requests, we got to get that shoulder mobile. So I'm turning at the shoulder joint. So my palm faces away from the front edge of the mat, then it rolls to face kind of where you guys are. So if I'd be facing you, and then I turn. So I'm moving that whole arm just a couple more times, really hopefully feeling a nice chest stretch. Good, one more. Nice. And then release both hands down, step and fold forward, top of the mat. Long spine, inhale. On the exhale, fold down. Arms all the way up to standing. On the exhale, take your hands to your hip creases. So fingers forward, thumbs back, shoulders on your back and down. Lift your chest. This is a tiny little back bend just to open up. And on the exhale, forward fold. Long spine. Fold on in, right leg back for a lunge. So allow your hands to come to your thighs and kind of push away a bit to lift your chest. Give a nice little stretch to that right frontal thigh. So proud chest, raise your hands on blocks. 3 more breaths, just opening it up. Then as we're ready, hands to the floor. Come on back to downward facing dog. Come all the way forward to plank and then all the way down to your belly. We're gonna stretch that right thigh out again. So go ahead and make a forehead pillow with your left hand. Reach your right arm back, thumb down. So your pelvis will naturally lift up. So allow your pelvis to get heavy as you lift your right thigh for a little stretch. So you can keep head down, you can lift head up, or you can extend the left arm out. We just want to start to open up through that right thigh. For 3. Maybe the left leg floats for 2. And as you're ready, release it down. Pressing up to plank, downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Knees down. We're going to go into the right leg. So I'm going to turn around and change the orientation. Remember, we go knee to the nose, cat the back, and then we're going to do a little extension. So chest lifts, heel lifts. Bring it in. And then bring it up. You can point or flex, doesn't matter. Really trying to move the scapula back before I round it forward. Getting some mobility there. And now all the way up, hold. Then extend the leg back. Tuck your left toes under, the right leg lifts up and back. Pausing to feel the core connection all the way to the feet. And then bring that right knee in towards your chest, so it's not a rounded upper back. We're bringing the thigh as far forward as we can, so we're actually activating the flexor. Feel the core from your chest all the way to your feet, and then right leg forward. Come on up to a lunge. Clasp the hands so that the shoulders go back and down. So if you can't do that, hands at the waist is a much better option, because when we do wheel, we have to have that openness in the chest, right? So if you can clasp heels together but chest open, that's fine. Otherwise, keep the open heel of the hands. And just breathe. Opening up to the chest. Couple more breaths. And then as you're ready, we're gonna release it and come all the way down. So from here, your left palm comes to the floor. You can totally keep your back knee down or you can lift it. Right arm reaches forward. Then I'm spinning the palm to face out and away before it spins towards my body. And then I spin it out and away as I make these big shoulder circles. So I'm really focusing more on the mobility of the shoulder here, not so much that it's the biggest twist. Just allowing your body to feel mobile through your shoulders. It's gotta happen before we can do wheel pose. Couple more. And then when you're ready, both hands down, step and fold forward. Long spine. Fold on in. And then strong legs as you sweep all the way up. And then hands again to your hips. So you can stay with what we did before, which was fingers forward, thumbs back, shoulders back. Or you can bring the hands into like your back hip pocket. This just kind of helps lengthen your tailbone. Sometimes that visual is helpful to lengthen the tailbone. The shoulders come back and down, and we're going to lift up, and we might lift a little back. But again, we can just have it just really subtle. Just again, open the chest, practice moving the shoulders back and down, and then slowly coming up, sit back in a chair. Just bring your hands to your heart for a moment, just to re-lengthen your spine. And then exhale, fold. Once again, long spine, left leg moves back, and we're into that lunge again, low lunge. So I'm pushing my hands down and forward, opening up the left side. Make sure this is it should be the second side. So for some reason I did the same side twice, sometimes I forget. Just make sure it's the second one. So I'm lifting up and out of the hips so I can feel that core and getting the front of the left hip open. Okay. Take another really deep breath, and then as you're ready, hands to the mat, plank pose. All the way down, and then it's going to be, again, finding that forehead pillow, so forearm to forehead, and then reaching back opposite side, so grabbing onto your left ankle, thumb pointing down. And if you can lift the leg with your pelvis down, that's fine. Otherwise, just pulling the heel towards the glutes, it's totally fine. So just a thigh stretch. If you'd like to elevate the chest, do that, like a one-leg bow. If you'd like to elevate the arm and the straight leg, you can do that too. So any level, just a few more breaths. And when you're ready, release it out. Palms press plank, downward facing dog. Okay, so we're gonna try our first handstand pose because that's gonna get us really warm to go to wheel pose. So I'm going you to try it out a few different ways. One way is just kind of getting more weight in our hands. This is the kind of the playful part. So do whatever is playful with this. You can be close to a wall space for this, or you can just do this on your mat. I'll give you something else to do if this isn't fun. So I'm going to be in down dog. I'm going to bend my knees, and I'm going to look forward and just trying to do some little hops. Just some little hops. So if I was close to a wall space, I can get so puppy that maybe I'll let my low back come towards the wall. So I got a little closer, maybe I bumped the wall, right? So that is one way you can play, is kind of tapping your pelvis to a wall. Both knees stay together. If that's not really fun because that hurts your shoulders, or it's just not really that great of a fun thing to do, you can come on your back. And you could roll like a ball, and you could come out, and you could roll up, and you could roll out. So you could do some core work on your back to keep strengthening, right? If you just want to get a good stretch, come to the wall with your hands above your shoulders, and then get a nice little stretch here. Just get kind of half of the handstand. You can even bend the knees, okay? So hopefully you guys have something to play with. I'm just going to watch for a second. Yell out if you have a question, and don't do too many of these because, man, these will like wear you out before we even get going. You're just trying to get a little buoyant, right? Connect core to feet. Yeah. Yeah, nice. And I know when you first do it, you feel like you weigh like 500 pounds. You're like, there's no way I'm going there. So it's okay. We're just trying to get the feel of hands to the legs, okay? So that's the first thing we're gonna try. The second one is we're gonna try kind of what we did with that kicking up with the knee. So for some people, getting up is just more of like trying to get that knee up. So it's almost like you're gonna step your right leg a little closer. You're gonna lift the left leg, and so it's kind of like a standing split. So one option is just to get a block and to just do this. Bend the right knee, extend the left, and you just are gonna kind of feel this lift and lower. Yeah, if I'm close to a wall, the same kind of work of just kind of bringing the knee in, bringing the knee in. And sometimes bringing the knee in will help you to kind of stick. So just try that maybe. Another thing you can do is from down dog. Again, just alternate this. One leg down dog, bring your knee in. This is the same kind of work. You're just gonna get a little stronger. Yeah, just like that, James. Yep, nice. So I just want you playing with things. And again, it's like, who cares if we did it or not, right? Yeah, good. Keep your, so a lot of you have your leg that you're kicking up bent, straighten it. The leg that you're kicking up, the knee that's saying close to your belly, bend that one. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Good job, you guys. Make sure you switch. You'll have a dominant leg that you'll want to do. Okay, last handstand, and then we're gonna leave it. So the kicking up is honestly the hardest way to get up. It takes time and again, trusting that you have a space, so don't worry if you have that. If you do have a wall space, you could work this, and we've done this before, you could walk up the wall backwards. I find that to be much better. Or come to all fours. Come to downward dog, so I'll walk my toes forward and my heels are at the wall. I can just practice this to practice kind of pressing my hips back, or I could walk my foot up the wall at a diagonal. And then here I am. And I can just practice holding here, pushing into the wall, pushing into my hands. So that's a way to be in handstand without like tripping yourself up. Yeah, so just walk up the wall, just like that, you guys. Just like that. Holding plank pose is a great way to keep building strength in the core, coming on your back. Yeah, so just try it however you want to do it. Remember, hands are on your back is one way we practice that. So that's a good way. Yeah, push your hands apart a bit as you're doing this. That kind of helps stabilize your shoulders. Good job. And then take a little breather. Come on down. Nice. Okay. Good job, you guys. Shake it out a few moments. How'd that go? Good? Good, yay. Good, nice. Okay. So again, just I want you just to feel getting upside down, moving your energy around. So it doesn't even matter if you got up or you're able to hold being up. Let's get a little shoulder stability. So I want you just to sit down wherever you are. We've done this before, but take your forearms forward. So not too wide, not too narrow. So kind of look at the natural distance of your shoulder without you rounding it or overly extending. So maybe you put your thumbs where your armpits are, and that's the distance, and you just open it up, okay? So I have my arms, I'm gonna push down without moving my elbows down. I'm just gonna imagine I'm pushing them onto like a table. I want you to feel that. You should be feeling right here. That's what we want to feel. So engage your core, push down. So that's that serratus muscle. We got to feel that. Now slightly push forward a bit, like you're going to push into a wall in front of you. Feel it without rounding, just a little bit of push. So I'm pushing down, I'm pushing forward. Then imagine you got to block and squeeze it a bit. This should be really heating up your shoulders. Okay. Take 5 breaths without squinching up your neck. Feel that you should have a little bit of 360-degree heat going in your shoulder. Push out, push down, squeeze in, So you should feel the chest, the front shoulder, and then shake it out. Okay, kind of shake your wrist out. So let's try this on our forearms to see what that feels like. So put your forearms on the mat, back your hips up, and you can measure if you're not sure how wide apart. And you can even clasp your arms if that's a better rotation. Then I want you to, again, I want you to push forward, a little bit of pull back and squeeze in. So I want you to feel all that so that now it's transmitting into your forearm. So we're gonna back the shoulders up a bit. So it's gonna be a little different than when we were weight bearing. Just kind of feel that. So I'm pushing down, squeezing in, slightly drawing away from me. And just kind of feel that warmth. If you'd like to come into forearm plank, you can try and work that here. And if you feel a lot of tension on your elbow joint, you want to drive more of it from armpit through wrist. So push a little further away and try to dissipate the energy from just being on the joints. It's the same work we want to do in plank so that we don't get the heel of the hand and feel it too much. Okay, take another deep breath. And then just relax it back so the arms can go back, palms face up, relax your back, so let the back muscles soften and widen your shoulder blades. I'm gonna give you two choices. One's gonna be a child's pose stretch. You're gonna put your elbows down just like we did, but now you're gonna back your hips up and bring your prayer arms back, if that works. So that's just gonna be a nice little stretch. For those of you that can do dolphin pose, practice that same stability that we just practiced and then lift your hips. So just stabilizing. And let me know if any of these don't work for any of your shoulders. Yeah, good work, you guys. Nice. Let your head go. Yeah. Nice. Soften out your jaw. So again, feel from your armpits or reach into your elbows or reach into your hands. So keep trying to drag your whole arm unit forward a bit without losing that contact of your core, right? Yeah, good. Good work. Keep relaxing your neck. So James, relax your head a little bit more. Yeah, there you go. Good. Okay, and then put your knees down. Good. Shake it out. Shake it out. Nice. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down a few times. Yeah, good. Roll it. Okay, good. We're going to do another down dog variation. So before we go into our upward dog. Getting ready for wheel. So I want you to come to downward facing dog. It's your normal down dog, and then just watch me. I'm going to come forward a bit. Elbows are going to wrap wide and then in, and I'm going to relax my head and push my hips back. It's called turbo dog. It's extremely challenging, but it's going to really stabilize your shoulders. So again, I come forward a bit, and you can do this on your knees as well. I come forward, elbows go wide, wrap towards the midline, then I drop my head and move my hips back. And I should feel a lot of strength in my shoulders. So let me know if you have, yeah, relax your necks though, you guys. Yeah, good. So elbows wrap a little closer in. Kathleen, yeah, bring it, there you go, there you go. And then drop your head. Yeah, good work, you guys, nice. Lauren, for some reason you're cut off from the, but it's okay, you can keep going. I just can't see you. Good work, you guys. Okay, then come out of it, relax. Relax. Good. I just want to get that good stabilization through your shoulders, because in wheel pose, that's really important. So go ahead and sit back, hands to your tops of the shoulders, and just give some circles here if you can. Little circles. Yeah. And then go both directions. Awesome. So as you're just circling, you can let go of the arms and watch what we're gonna do. We did this a couple days ago, maybe even yesterday, I can't remember. Oh, it was fast. We're gonna kind of round our back, and then I'm gonna start to kind of lift. And as I get forward, my shoulders are over my wrist, I'm gonna start to unfurl and come towards that kind of smiling plank. And then I'm gonna come back the other way. So I'm gonna, again, round, so almost like a cat back. pull navel in, pull navel in, pull navel in, unfurl. And then I'm in kind of like a smiley plank. Hopefully strong legs, strong core. Come back. And then one more time. Unfurl, unfurl. And you might just stay here, opening your chest, bringing the shoulders on your back. Maybe you lift your knees, or maybe you just come to the top of the feet. I want you to feel a big lift out of your hips, although the hips might feel free. Shoulders rolling back. Then if you want a little extra, bend those elbows. Like turbo dog, wrap them back as you straighten the arms one more time. So it's like your elbow crease rolls towards your index finger. And then as you're ready, lift your hips. Slide on back. Slide on back. And then slowly roll up, and then again, roll the shoulders. Roll the shoulders. Okay. Let's get off our wrist for a moment. So we're gonna come to standing. You have a wall space handy, awesome, just because you might want it for balance, but you don't necessarily need it. So we're gonna take the right leg as our standing leg and go ahead and draw your left foot back. So we did this on our back, right? One leg. So I want you first just to get a thigh stretch. So that left hip is hanging down, so it's not coming forward or back. You can take both hands behind you if you want to kind of stretch the foot. So I could do that too. I want you to get a big stretch of that front thigh. Now bend your standing leg so that you can feel a little bit more weighted in your legs. And then take your hand to your heart just so that you can keep that heart lifting towards your hand. Then as you're ready, like we did in that cat-cow, kick your leg back. So feel your glute muscle engage. Keep your knee bent if you want, and kind of press the foot into the hand. My thumb is facing towards this way. And then if you want to, heart reaches to hand, and maybe the leg straightens, and we get a kind of a bow pose. Standing, a dancer. Breathe in, keep the heart lifting, keep the thigh reaching back into the hand. One more breath. And then let it go. Shake it out. So kind of roll your ankles. Side two. Bend your knees. Reach back, thumb facing down. And just let this be a frontal hip stretch. So hip points face forward, knee faces down. If I want to take both hands behind me to get a little extra stretch, I can do that. Breathe in, breathe out. And now hand to heart, bend your standing leg. So feel your heel and your ball mound equally weighted. So you're in your foot, you're in your leg strength. Now kick the leg back. So feel your glute and hamstring strength. Keep reaching your heart to your hand. And you can keep this, your standing leg bent if that's supported, for imagining that you still have your strong legs supporting you. And then maybe straighten the leg if that feels good. Take another couple breaths. And then slowly let it go. Slowly let it go. Okay, shake those legs out. So your thighs are feeling open, your shoulders are feeling strong yet mobile. So let's come to face the top of whatever side you're facing for your mat. We'll take those arms and reach up. Think about handstand, lift your heels, tonify your core all the way up. And as you exhale, heels down, forward fold. Long spine, inhale. On your exhale, downward facing dog. Come forward to plank pose. Then all the way to your belly. So before we flip to our back, we're going to do one more time on our belly, that same pose we did standing, so you can feel it in different ways. So it can look just like the first side we did, which is that you reach back and you repeat again. Or if you feel like you want to do both legs, go ahead and reach back and grab both of your feet. So what tends to happen is the knees go wide. So bring your legs as close together as you can without compressing your low back. Now before you do anything, lift your chest a bit. Now kick into your feet so that you can lift your feet. And then with equal forces, lift chest, kick feet into hands. And then maybe you can kind of roll a bit, so you can play with a little bit of play here. You can also let go and then lift up and just kind of practice pulsing with that. So I want you just to play with that a little bit. If you're doing one leg at a time, just alternate that. I just want to watch you guys for a moment. Nice, yeah. Good. Remember, kick those legs back and up. Yeah. So feel your, yes, there you go, Lauren. Yeah, kick your hips. All right, let your glutes and your hamstrings. Nice. Yeah, and then just windshield wiper when you're done. Release it. Nice work, you guys. Okay, we're going to head on to our back. Before we go up, we're going to do a little bridge work because a lot of wheel is strong legs. Like if your legs are not able to really lift you up, right, it puts so much pressure on the arms. So we're going to really press into those heels and lift your hips. Now feel a little bit of pressing of your ball mound forward so that you kind of release the pelvis from the thigh. So if I pulled my heels back, I'm going to feel that those thigh bones kind of push into my pelvis. But if I actually reach the toes forward and kind of push forward a bit, I might kind of feel more relaxation here. So kind of play with pushing down and forward without losing that heel drive down. If you want to roll to the outer border of your shoulders, you can to get a little chest stretch. Neck is long. Breathe in, breathe out. If your arms are bound, release them. Pick your heels up, and then just set your hips down quietly. And relax. So just some arm kind of reaches. So I want you to take your arms up, and then thumbs touch the floor without arching your back. So I'm going to see if I can just do that with the lengthening from my armpit. So it's okay to stop wherever you need to. And then bring the arms back. Keeping, again, this kind of hugging down of the rib cage. The core is active. Stretch. And then come down. Your thumbs are facing up. 2 more. Breathing and reaching. And now I want you to flip your palms to face down. And now you're going to breathe up. And then as you breathe out, feel those arms reach up and back. So it's okay to get a little bit of lift now. And then relax the palms down. Breathe up, and from the bottom of your armpits, reach. And then kind of draw your arm back as if it's like a tug of war. It's okay to have a little lift, but then you can kind of settle the rib cage. And then we'll do that a couple more times. So I'm lifting up. And I'm stretching from the base of my armpits out through my fingertips. Get those pectoral muscles to stretch. And then come on down. Okay. So we're going to do a couple different ways to get into wheel. One is we're just going to plant the hands and we're not going to actually push up because I want you to kind of pay attention to your body. So we're going to do first just kind of setting the arms, and then we're going to do a higher bridge with the hips, and then we'll see if we can put it together. And I'll show you some things at the wall in case like you have some limitations. So first with the arms, we're going to take the arms and like you're holding a platter, take the arms up. And again, feel again those shoulders kind of draw down and into the sockets of your shoulder blades, or the arm bones into the sockets. And then turn your hands to kind of reach back. Now kind of noticing, can I flatten the palms? Because that's a lot of it, is that we don't have the wrist flexibility. And maybe when we do this, the arms go way wide. So I just want you to kind of practice what that's like. Release the arms. Okay, so reach the arms up, rotate, and then take the wrists back. So I'm just trying to see if I can flatten the palms by like a little bit above my ears. And just kind of push, and just kind of notice what happens if I push. So this is just kind of the movement of the arms, and then relax. Okay, now for a different bridge. Press through your feet, lift your hips. Breathe in, and now lift your heels and lift your hips a little higher. Walk your toes back a couple inches, maybe just a tiny bit. You can stay here, or you can try to descend the heels.
Now, right away, you might feel compression, so press your thigh bones forward by kind of pressing the energy towards the top of your mat. And just kind of see what that does. And you should feel a lot of glutes and a lot of opening through here. So this is just giving you more lift. This helps if you have compression in the low back, kind of lets the legs do more work. Now lift the heels again, walk the feet out, and then roll down. Okay, so now we're gonna put it together. You don't have to lift off your hands. So you might just come to that higher bridge and add the hands, okay? So deep breath in. When you're ready, lift up to your bridge. Go ahead and lift the heels up. If you want to walk it a little closer, you can. Remember, as you set the heels down, you're going to lift the hips higher. Now take the arms up, turn the wrist, and flatten. So from here, I might just stay here. And this could be my wheel. It's just really lifting the hips, getting strong through my legs. If I'd like to, I'll push with my hands and just set my head down. And then I'll reposition the arms, just like we did before. You wrap the elbows in that turbo dog, and then maybe we straighten. Maybe not. Remember, you could just do the higher bridge. You could just work the arms. Yeah, nice. Really use those legs. You can even keep your heels lifted. Sometimes that's a better option. Yeah, good work, you guys. And then come down when you need to. So here's a trick for your hands if wrist flexibility is not working for you. Go ahead and take your blocks to the wall and you'll angle them if you have them. And this is where your wrist can go. So hopefully you guys can see this. So as I come down, I'm going to put my hands, where are they, on these blocks. And this just lets me not have to flatten my hands to the floor. So I like that a lot. It really, so if you had a couch, you could do that. So it's like 1,000 times easier because I don't have to flatten my hand, which is the hardest part of wheel, is that wrist flexibility, right? It's an awkward movement for the shoulder. So you can put those blocks down, and again, they're at a 45-degree angle. They're like this against a wall. And I have to kind of measure it, but the good thing is you can just move your hands around. So your hands go back there, you do all the same work, and then you can just lift your hips without being weight bearing, or you can try to lift your head. So yell out if you guys have questions about that or something's not working right. You can also put your feet on the wall. That's another choice, is to turn around and I can put my feet on the wall, right? And that's gonna give me some extra help to push into something. Remember when you were talking about pressing the feet forward? That can help, but sometimes that makes it harder if you have tight shoulders. So you have to kind of just work with your own body to find out what's easier for you. Yeah, nice. Breathe a lot, you guys. Okay. Take a moment when you finish your last one of wheel and just kind of lay on your back for a second, windshield wiper. That's a big pose, so take it in. You can also keep playing. Yeah, good job. Okay. Nice work. And then slowly we're gonna roll to the side. We're gonna come back to downward facing dog for a moment, shake your head out. Then we'll step the right leg forward, quarter turn for a wide leg fold. Just let the head shake out here. You wanna grab the elbow creases and sway or kind of relax off the neck. If you're still wanting to play and you don't wanna take your energy down, totally fine to kind of lean forward, lift your heels, and you can work on those hops here. Some people have better success with their legs wide, but if you're already like, oh gosh, I'm so tired, I don't want to do any more for my shoulders, then just stay here. Let's plant the left arm. Take the right arm out to the side and then a half bind so the palm faces up, and then we turn and twist to the right. Allowing that left shoulder to dilate,
Right shoulder relaxes away from the ear. I can even look down. And then replace the right arm down, left arm out to the side, inner rotate, hand to the small of the back, and then from the left side body, I twist to the left. Letting that shoulder drip down the back. So not towards the ear, and I'm not trying to pull it back. I'm letting it broaden, but I'm turning my waist. Releasing the hands back down, shake your head out. And then walk the feet a little bit closer in so that you can bend the knees a lot. Hang in a forward fold for a moment. And then nice and slow roll up. Roll those shoulders a couple times. If you do have a wall space close, great. If you don't, you can just do the exact same thing standing. We're just going to be a little bit further away from the wall, so maybe my heels are like 12 inches, and I'm just going to fold forward, so I'm supported by the wall. So if you don't have a wall, you can just stay right where you are and fold again. Maybe you bend and straighten. And then we're going to kind of squat down, lift the chest for a moment, and then come on down. Again, if you have a wall, great. If you don't have a wall, it doesn't matter. So you can do this in the air, just like this, Baddha Konasana. Otherwise, if you have the wall, go ahead and come to the wall and let your knees go wide and your heels slide down the wall. So I can be flush with the wall or a little further away. I'm just kind of using the wall to give me a little bit of extra sensation. Breathe in and out. Send your legs back up the wall. Cross your right leg over your left thigh. Let the heel of your left foot slide down the wall. So again, you might have to back out and away. You could just do this on your back without a wall space. Just give a little hello to that outer hip. Nice deep breaths. And then sending that leg back up the wall, you'll switch left ankle over right. Let the right heel slide down the wall. Even if it's just an inch, that's totally fine. Put both feet up on the wall just to do a little release here. If you don't have a wall, you can put a block under your sacrum. I could even put a block under my sacrum at the wall too if I want to lift my hips a little further. So it's just at that flat part of the spine, not on the vertebral bodies. So I can just be doing this and elevating if I don't have a wall. I can let my heels rest. Just kind of letting myself be upside down. And then I want you to focus some breath work. So we're going to do a kind of 3-part breath. So you're going to breathe in a little bit, hold. Breathe in a little bit more and hold. Breathe all the way in and hold, just like a second hold, and then slow, continuous breath out. So breathe in just a little bit and hold. Another little bit. All the way in. Slow, continuous breath out. One more time, little breath in. A little bit more. All the way in, all the way out. Nice. So I want you to find an inversion that is very relaxing for you. This could be it. It could be bridge on a block. So just putting this block under your low back. It could be down dog if you want a more active one. It could be legs up the wall, but something where your hips are over your heart and you're not working. Are not working too terribly hard. You could even relax your calves on a couch or a chair so that they're up and your heart is down, so that can feel good too. And so I want you just to take a moment and just kind of integrate all the upside downness, core engagement, all that yummy stuff of play and inverting and reorientation. So take just a brief moment to just check in with how your body and your nervous system has sensed that work. Notice if it inspired you. It might have you feeling a little unsettled. That's very common when we do a lot of that, is that we get kind of like, we're kind of shaken out of our center in a sense. So do find your center through this. So maybe that's touching your hand and your belly, to your belly and your heart. Maybe it's finding your breath. So noticing how you can be in a new place, but still find your center. So for the next few moments of just breathing, kind of exploring a sense of spaciousness, a sense of possibility, of new places in which we explore, right? This new world we find ourselves in. So let yourself really kind of expand a bit. Imagine almost like you get more porous and you can feel more spacious inside your body. And let that breath and maybe your touch or your sense of your body be the way that you find your center within this spacious new place. So really giving ourselves permission to open ourselves to new ways of living, to new ways of being, new ways of creating, new ways of being embodied. So things may not ever feel right like they used to feel. Our reality, our world may never feel like it did. So how do we let ourselves grow and change and morph while staying connected to our truth, to our center, to our wisdom, but also allowing there to be a space for curiosity, for playfulness, for enjoyment, for delight, for adventure. So hopefully this practice has helped you play with that a little bit. Play with flipping your world, changing things up, and still staying true, right, to what you can do with where you are, with how you find yourself. So if you want to prepare to move again, wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe make your way up or continue lying on your back and enjoying a little reprieve, a break. I'm gathering my hands to my heart center in honor of your courage to be you, to change, to evolve, to be in this new place we all sit together, in a place of possibility and hopefulness and optimism. Thank you for practicing. Namaste.